Except for a hair.
Oh my God, Chrissy!
It's a pity you can't get your goons to follow their orders properly, though. People can get hurt.
I don't give a bugger what happens to Sharon.
I wasn't talking about Sharon. It seems Chrissy Latham was knocked around a bit. Be a shame if she lost the baby, wouldn't it?
Make them hurry, please.
No, you just leave to the experts, dear. They'll get you there safe and sound.
But the baby...
Safe and sound, too. Now, you must try to relax. Pretend it's happening to someone else.
Jeez, I wish it was. You rang the hospital?
Yes, it's all set up.
Smith? Mr. Reed wants to see you.
Yeah, sure.
But can we spare her?
Latham has to be guarded, even in hospital. How is she?
I'm afraid she started to panic. It doesn't help.
Well, she won't lose the baby. But you said it would be safe and sound.
I'm not as confident as that.
But you told her.
But I wanted her to fight. What else would I tell her?
You'll have to go with her, Mrs. Jackson. We'll send a relieving guard as soon as possible.
Thanks, Vera.
Well, now I'd better see Sharon Gilmore. Bring her to my office, please, Miss Bennett.
It'd be more to the point to see B. Smith.
Smith wasn't anywhere near them. You know that very well.
She could still send a message via someone else's fist.
Would you please bring her to my office? Keep in touch with the hospital. Let me know as soon as there's any news.
Come in.
You asked to see B. Smith, Mr. Reed?
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Come in, B. Well, everything's here.
Yeah, looks like it.
All we need now are the willing workers. What's the matter? Now, come on, B. I thought you never gave an inch.
Now, what's the point? You can't win. Not in here, you can't. Oh, look at poor Chrissy Latham. Gee, she really wanted that kid.
What's happened to Chrissy Latham?
Dennis carried her out of here in a stretcher.
Why?
I don't know. Accident or something.
I got the impression that you weren't too keen on Chrissy.
Chrissy's no prize, never was. Proper little bitch most of the time. That poor wee scrap of a kid deserved to go.
Well, she was more than 7 months pregnant. The baby will probably be all right.
You really think that poor little beggar's got a chance?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. And you should be putting your energies to something more constructive, like this, for example. Now, come on, B. You can get the women interested in it.
Yeah, well, why me?
Because you're the leader of the push.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I think I'm fresh out of troops.
Oh, come off it. Once you've got it, you never lose it.
Mm.
Well, thank you very much. I'm finally getting some attention.
You stand up for the governor.
How do you know I can stand? Bruised, beaten, treated like a punching bag. Look at my hair.
Is she all right?
She made fast enough time getting here. Now get out of that chair.
Well, what are you going to do about B. Smith?
Get up.
You were saying?
You can't treat me like
You
this.
will be treated as you deserve to be treated. Now, you have a complaint against B. Smith?
Yes, I have a complaint against B. Smith. Who do you think sent those morons to beat me up?
Who are the other women involved, Miss Bennett?
Dempsey, Stokes and Cavelli.
And Smith.
What proof do you have that Smith was involved?
Well, who else would it be? She's been after me ever since I threw that soup at her. I haven't done anything to Dempsey, Stokes, or what's her name. She sent them.
How did Chrissy Latham come to be injured?
I was the one who was injured. They came at me with scissors. I could have been scarred for life. As it is, my hair's absolutely ruined.
Latham may lose her baby. Who hit her?
Oh, one of those thugs, I don't know. They weren't after her, they were after me.
And that's all you can tell me?
B. Smith can put you in the picture. I tell you, you've got to protect me from that woman or you'll have a real tragedy on your hands. I could be seriously hurt.
Wait outside, Gilmore.
But you've
You
got to...
heard me. Charming, isn't she?
Do you want to see Smith now?
I'd rather speak to Chrissy first. She may know something that Gilmore doesn't.
Gilmore can be at risk with Smith free.
I don't think so. Smith can't get at her, and Dempsey and the others are in solitary. I'll speak to Smith tomorrow. Don't worry, Vera. If she is involved, she will be punished.
I hope so.
Sally, any news from the hospital?
But what's it for?
It's just to relax you, Chrissy.
Oh, you're not giving it to me to take the baby away?
It's a muscle relaxant to try and stop the contractions. They are feeling easier, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot.
Good. Well, if we control those, you'll be fine. We can keep you here for a few days, and if there are no further problems, well, then your pregnancy should go full term. Oh, I must get home for dinner. I'll be in trouble. Goodbye, Chrissy. Mrs. Jackson?
Good night. Funny old geezer. Do you reckon he's having me on?
Why should he?
Dr. Miller, he was okay. He gave it to you straight.
Why don't you trust Dr. Herbert?
Why should I trust anybody?
Oh, well, that's your problem.
I suppose I should trust B. Smith.
B? Why, what's she got to
It's
do?
her fault she sent the heavies.
B?
Yeah.
Well, even if you're right, why should she set you up? She wouldn't want to hurt the baby.
She don't care what she hurts, so long as she stays top dog. Top dog. Top bitch, more likely. Oh, if I lose my baby, I'll...
Now, come on, Chrissy, you mustn't get upset. The baby's got a good chance now.
Yeah, I know, but if I lose it, I won't have nothing. Not a damn thing.
Hello, Meg. Aren't you in rather early?
I was relieved early last night. I was replaced by a policewoman. I hope she gets on with Chrissy, and for both their sakes.
I had a call about Chrissy this morning. Oh, it's all right. It's good news. Why do you always expect the worst?
Occupational hazard.
She should be back within the week. The contractions have stopped altogether.
Oh, thank heaven for that.
Did she say how she happened to get hurt? Sharon Gilmore swears it was B. Smith who organised the whole thing.
Chrissy seems to think it was B, too.
Did she say why?
Chrissy says she wasn't the real target. They were trying to put Gilmore in her place.
I won't have it, Meg. I'm not going to put up with that stupid power struggle all over again.
Well, it won't be easy to get Queen Bee to relinquish her title.
We'll see about that. I want Dempsey, Stokes and Cavelli brought to my office immediately, Miss Bennett.
They're waiting for you, Mrs. Davidson.
Good. Thank you.
Did you see Latham?
No, but I have the information I required.
Does that mean you'll want to see Smith?
I shall definitely be seeing Smith.
Well, it looks as though the penny's finally dropped. What did Latham say?
Oh, don't you want to know how she is?
Latham? Oh, they're all the same to me. What did she say about Smith?
It's confidential, Vera. I suggest you ask the governor.
The governor wants to see you.
So what else is new?
You're in for it this time.
Any news about Chrissy Latham? Was the baby all right?
I don't know and I don't care.
You must have heard something.
Worried about the unborn child, are you? You should have thought about that before you sent in your little task force. Now, come on, move. I don't know who the women are going to blame. It won't be Dempsey and her friends. They were just doing what they were told.
Rave on, why don't you?
And then there's the governor. She's got a real problem. She can't keep putting you in solitary. It hasn't any effect. Maybe she should let the psychiatrist see you. You could be just dangerous enough to be put away in a nice, safe booby hatch where you wouldn't be any trouble. That's what I'd do.
Oh, Meg. I hear Chrissy Latham's in hospital.
Yes, I took her in yesterday. She went into premature labour, but she could be all right. They managed to stop the contractions.
Oh, that's good. I've never known anybody to be so single-minded about her baby.
Well, most women are when they're expecting.
You get a minute?
Sure.
You know, Chrissy could be getting her hopes up a little bit too high about this baby. She seems to think that it's going to change her entire life.
Well, they do, don't they?
Well, I just hope she realizes what the new baby's going to mean in terms of extra work, sacrifice.
And worry.
And worry.
Yes, well, it's much tougher on kids today. There's just so much pressure for them. I mean, there's the unemployment and the drug scene. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking of Tony.
Oh, that's all right. Tony's fine. I think he's going to stay on the straight and narrow for the rest of his life. He had one hell of a scare.
Well, it took guts to go to the police the way he did.
Guts he's got. He's just a little bit light on common sense.
They all are at that age. He's just lucky he had you to back him up. I've always been sorry for Bea Smith. She was in jail when the pushers took her girl. She couldn't do a thing.
Yeah, well, Tony is in a slightly different situation.
It's not always easy to judge your own. I remember my son, Marty, used to resent Wentworth. Bill and I always tried to convince him that he came first. Trouble was, there was never enough time to convince him.
Yeah, well, I intend to give Tony all the time he needs.
And that's all you have to say. You don't know. You attack a pregnant woman and you don't know why. Do you often have impulses like this? We are hoping Latham will pull through. If she does, it'll be no thanks to you.
Please, miss.
Well?
We weren't after her.
Then Sharon Gilmore was the target.
Guess so.
You guess so. Why? Did you have a grudge against her?
No, miss.
You just did it for the exercise?
No, miss. I don't like exercise.
Somebody put you up to this. Who was it?
I don't know.
Very well. All I can do is make sure you think twice before you try this sort of thing again. You will each have 48 hours in solitary, during which time perhaps you might come up with a few ideas. Let's hope one of them keeps you out of trouble in the future. Take these women back to solitary. Tell Miss Bennett I will see Smith.
Normal. Normal, too. And your contractions have stopped, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you're a very healthy young woman. It beats me how you got in this position in the first place.
Well, I got a fist in the belly, didn't I? That could have helped.
Good Lord. I thought it was an accident. You mean you were attacked?
Yeah, 3 of them. They were after Sharon Gilmore, see? Only I was the poor bloody mug that got in the way.
And what had the Sharon done?
Drugs. She was in for pushing.
She surely wouldn't have been the first to be in for something like that, would she?
Yeah, but it was Bea Smith set her up. Bea's the muscle. She can't stand pushers.
What's Bea in for?
A couple of murders.
Good Lord, fantastic. Murders. That she can stand, but pushers she can't.
Yeah, well, they got her kid when she was in stir. She was just a young kid, you know, didn't know no better. Jeez, if any pusher gets within a mile of my kid...
Are you going to bring her up yourself?
Oh, yeah. She ain't got an old man. But that's better, see? No one to bash her up or drag her into bed.
You've got some very strange ideas on fatherhood, Chrissy.
Yeah, well, depends what you're used to, doesn't it?
I suppose it does.
It's just going to be her and me. She's not going to go wrong, Doc. Because I know what can happen. I'm going to be watching her. She's going to be pretty and clean and smart at school. I suppose Bea Smith said that once. Well, still, it's her own fault. I'm not going to make the same mistakes. I'm not going to be on the inside when my kid needs me.
I know you didn't do it, but you did organise it.
Why should I?
Well, for one thing, she threw soup in your face.
Maybe her hand slipped.
That's not what you said at the time. I might have known you'd retaliate.
I could be getting soft in my old age.
Unlikely. I hold no brief for Gilmore Smith. She's a particularly vicious young woman. But punishing her is not your responsibility. You realise Chrissy Latham is in hospital because of this.
How is she, Mrs. Davidson?
We're hoping she'll pull through. But that does not let you off. I've tried everything with you, Smith. I've tried punishing you, no result. I have even attempted patience and reason, no result. I shall just have to put you where you can cause no further harm. You are to be sent to the isolation block.
But no one gets sent there.
You are certainly the first inmate I have sent to isolation, but I can see no other alternative. I suggest you use the opportunity to do some very serious thinking about your past behavior and attitudes.
But how long am I going to be there?
Indefinitely.
Busy?
Busy enough.
What are these supposed to be?
There'll be moccasins eventually.
I doubt it.
Pardon?
You won't get these women to work without B. Smith.
B. Smith is right behind me. She'll get them working.
From the isolation block? What's she going to use? Telepathy?
Isolation?
It's put paid to your pet project, hasn't it? These women won't lift a finger without B. Smith.
What's she doing in isolation?
You'll have to ask the governor that.
I will.
Good luck with Mrs. Davidson. I'm sure she's very anxious for your point of view.
Oh, well, better call a taxi.
Oh, I think we can manage with that one.
Yeah, it's not much, is it?
It's not far to go.
Fair enough. Ah, could have been worse. Could have been solitary.
You do know the difference, don't you? I mean, solitary can be for 2 weeks, even more, but at least you can plead your case before the VJ. Isolation can be forever. There's nothing to do there. No work and no one to talk to.
Peace and quiet at last. I'll be able to catch up on my reading.
And you're thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought you'd like to know. Chrissy's baby's going to be all right.
Yeah, I know, thanks.
Oh, I don't understand you, Bea. Why couldn't you have left Gilmore alone?
After what she's done?
Look, you've got to stop being the lone avenger. It doesn't get you anywhere.
I can't forget what happened to Debbie.
I'm not talking about forgetting. I know that's just about impossible. But we can't change what's happened, Bea. Whatever we do, we can't bring them back. It's just a fact.
Yeah. Well, we better get a move on.
Mrs. Davidson, please give her another chance.
You are new here, Mr. Reed. You do not know how many chances I have given her.
She'll only degenerate in isolation. It'll make her worse.
I have no alternative. Whilst there are pushes being sent to this prison, and there will be more, Smith cannot be relied upon to behave herself. While she has access to the laundry, dining room, the dormitories, I cannot protect the women from her.
And I cannot rehabilitate her from isolation. She needs to be actively involved, communicating.
And causing trouble.
Not if she's handled properly. She's not a vicious woman. She's a woman with enormous energy. She gets bored into mischief. Now, if I can channel that energy into something constructive...
It has been tried before, and it has failed. Believe me, her violence is not motivated by boredom. Prisoners are still beaten up by her or at her command. And I am the one who has to explain the casualties to the department.
Mrs. Davidson?
No, Smith goes to isolation and she stays there.
Where she'll be no good to anybody. But handled properly, kept in the mainstream of the prison, she could be very useful to all of us.
Useful to you, perhaps. I know how important this radio project is to you, Mr. Reed, but you will have to raise the money without the help of B. Smith.
There's that little creep now.
Just ignore her.
Hello, Bea. Going somewhere?
Here, had a close shave.
Pulling you out, are they? Like a rotten tooth.
Shut up, Gilmore.
Don't you forget I've got friends.
You won't have when they find out you killed Chrissy's baby.
That's enough, Gilmore.
You told me the baby was okay.
They're both okay.
Why isn't she back then?
She will be.
I heard it was a 50-50 chance.
You heard nothing, you poisonous little bitch. You made it up.
Move along, Bea. And just you remember, just because you're on remand doesn't mean you can't be put in isolation. With B.
I'd like to see you try.
Now, there's no need to panic, my dear.
Oh, I knew you were lying, you bastard.
Now, the pains have started again, have they?
Yes.
Deep contractions this time?
Yes.
Intervals?
Every 5 minutes, Doctor, and the membranes have ruptured.
Now, listen, I'm going to examine you to make sure. Nurse, it looks as if the baby is really on its way this time. We've reached the point of no return.
Oh, what are you talking about? We?
If the cervix is opening, there's no way we can delay the birth.
It's coming?
Yes, Chrissy, but it may not be strong enough to make it entirely on its own.
You mean it's gonna die?
Now, I didn't say that. It's got a good chance. What I want you to do is to try and relax between contractions. There's a good girl. Hmm?
Hello? Oh, you've been busy?
I woke up early.
Look, if you can't sleep, I might be able to get Dr. Herbert to give you something.
No.
Well, just to get used to the place.
No. I'm not going to be drugged as well.
These are good bee.
Yeah, well, I've got plenty of time, haven't I? Nothing else to do. I'll probably end up like one of them nuts that tries to make a Taj Mahal out of matchsticks.
I've come to take you to the showers.
Okay. What am I doing for breakfast?
I'll bring it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, rather you than Vera. Couldn't stand her. Is Chrissy back?
Well, not yet. Won't be for a while, though.
Well, what's wrong?
Well, nothing. Well, these things take time, that's all. You're not still worried about what Gilmore said?
Nothing she could think of will worry me.
Look, I'll ring the hospital whilst you're in the shower.
If you like.
No, I'd like to know myself.
Nice to have you back again.
What happened?
Plenty.
You mean she's born?
She certainly is.
And she's all right?
Fine.
But I don't remember anything.
You were doped to the gills, my girl.
Did I get to hold her?
No, we couldn't let you hold her. As you don't remember, what makes you so certain she's a girl?
Oh, had to be a girl. Why couldn't I hold her?
You might have dropped her.
There's nothing wrong, Doc. Is there? She's not funny or nothing.
She's a perfectly normal little girl.
I'm gonna call her Elizabeth.
Are you? After the Queen?
Bugger the Queen. I'm calling her after old Lizzie. Elizabeth. Can I see her now?
Not now. She's in a humidicrib.
A what?
A humidicrib. It's a fine place for babies to be who've arrived too early for their own good.
Oh, I do want to see her.
She's resting now, and so should you. But you'll see her within 24 hours.
You're sure, Doc?
Didn't you tell her?
She needs rest, not bad news. Did you see the child? How's she making out?
Oh, it's still touch and go.
The lungs, I suppose.
Yes, if it survives, it'll have respiratory difficulties for most of its life.
Poor little beggar. Not much to look forward to.
Either way.
Chrissy's had a baby. It's a girl.
You're kidding. Is it all right?
And you know what they're like on the phone. As well as can be expected is all you ever get.
Well, when are we going to see the kid?
Well, not for ages, I shouldn't think.
Oh, I suppose they'll keep her in for a while.
Well, I'll have to.
Oh, no, as long as she's all right.
Well, as far as I know.
Well, wouldn't you know, here I am with this terrific bit of news and no one to tell it to. Hey, ladies, guess what? Wentworth just had a baby. Fear of zombies.
Oh, come on, are you ready?
So.
Do you suppose she's violent?
No, just stupid. Why?
Well, she had a guard to herself.
So have we.
It's hardly the same.
Not yet, perhaps. Mum, you all right? You mustn't give up. Don't quit now.
I'm just so tired.
Can you manage a shower? I'll take your things.
Hello, Mr. Muir.
Would you step in here, please, Miss Ray?
I've got a clock on.
Oh, no, you don't. You're going up to the office to get your wages.
But I don't get paid till Thursday.
You'd better take what you can get. You're sacked.
What have I done?
You're just not suitable for the job.
But that's not fair. You've got to tell me what I've done.
Well, among other things, you put us to a great deal of inconvenience by not turning up yesterday.
I was sick. My auntie phoned in for me.
She did no such thing. For all we knew, you'd simply quit. We had to get another girl to take your place, and I must say she's a whole lot more dependable than you are. We've put her on a permanent basis, which means you're out. Good morning. And don't you hang around or you'll get some of the same. What's up with him?
Oh, nothing's wrong with him. He's as happy as Larry. He just sacked me, didn't he?
What for?
Well, you ought to know.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're on about.
Well, you told him I was a crim, didn't you?
I wouldn't do that, Doreen.
Well, you're the only one who knows. Who else would have told him? Anyway, I think you stink. I don't want to ever see you again.
Doreen!
Get out.
Doreen!
Get out!
All right, I'm going. Doreen, wait!
Go away!
Look, I've been to personnel. Listen, there are no messages in there about Debbie Ray being sick. There is one, though, about Doreen Anderson.
What?
Yeah, some old bird as drunk as now kept ringing up and raving on about Doreen Anderson. I thought she was mad.
Oh, Lizzie. I'll kill her.
I think you might, too.
Kevin, I'm sorry.
Oh, no harm done.
Yeah, well, it's starting to be a bit of a habit with me thinking people are letting me down.
Yeah, I know, but it won't be me, Doreen.
Yeah, well, Lizzie's let me down. Wait till I get hold of her.
Do you want me to come with you?
No, I'll be all right. Lizzie? Oh, that's where you are.
Oh, you just made me take a lump right out of me skull.
Yeah, well, I want a piece out of you.
Well, you've just had one.
Well, you just got me the sack.
Oh, go on, I didn't.
You did, you silly old bugger, ringing up the office yesterday.
Well, you told me to.
Saying Doreen Anderson wouldn't be into work.
I only did what you... Oh.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be Debbie Ray, remember?
Oh, Dor, I'm sorry.
Well, sorry won't get my job back.
I wouldn't do that to you for all the world.
Yeah, well, I suppose you'd had a few.
Just a couple.
Well, you're a rotten old wino and I'll never be friends with you again.
Oh, Dor!
We'll need those in triplicate as soon as possible. What are you doing here, Birdsworth?
I came to see Bea.
You could have saved yourself the bus fare. Smith's not allowed visitors.
Since when?
Since she was put in isolation. Cook's monthly orders are due out today. You have to get them processed by 4. She should have them finished by now.
She hasn't changed much, has she?
Look who's here.
G'day, Mr. Fletcher.
Hello, Lizzie. How are you?
Pissed off. Miss Bennett won't let me into CB.
Why not?
She reckons she's not allowed to have any visitors.
Oh, of course she is. She's got the same rights as anybody else, provided the visit's been authorised. Mrs. Edwards, take Mrs. Birdsworth to see B. Smith. Tell reception that I've authorised the visit, okay?
Yes, Mr. Fletcher.
Thanks.
Well, Lizzie, what's it like out in the great big world?
Takes a bit of getting used to. Reckon you'd know more about it than me. I have been out.
Seems funny showing you the interview room from this side.
Yeah. Seems funny to me, too.
Visitor for Smith, Miss Bennett.
Smith's not allowed to have visitors.
Mr. Fletcher's approved it, Miss Bennett.
Yeah. And Fletcher's deputy governor, isn't he?
Don't give me any of your cheek, Birdsworth.
What are you going to do, Miss Bennett? Put me in the pound.
All right, get on with it. Kitchen supplies. And since you've obviously got so much time on your hands, you can type up the rosters for tomorrow as well.
Lizzie!
Baby!
How are you, you old devil? No physical contact.
Why, they got you in isolation?
Oh, I'm in the poo again. Got a fag on you?
Oh, yes, sure.
Oh, you little beauty. Well, how's it going?
Oh, it's all right, I suppose. Well, it's not bad.
Well, sounds wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it's all right. Only, Dor, she's getting at me something cruel, Bee.
Why?
Oh, it's my own bloody fault, I suppose.
Now, what have you gone and done to Doreen?
Well, I got chickered and I lost her that job she had. She's a real crook on me, Bee.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Never mind, she'll get over it.
Oh, I certainly hope so. She's the only mate I got on the outside.
Look, there's a whole bunch of them out the halfway house.
Oh, yeah, there are, but they've all got jobs and you don't get a chance to get to know them and you don't get any visitors, so it gets quite lonely at times.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Never see anyone from one day's end to the other. So that's who they are.
So that's who what are? Geez, Lizzie, you jump around like John Travolta.
Those two people I saw outside, the toffee-nosed ones, they came to the halfway house one day.
What do you mean, the new ones? That dame that looks sick all the time and a daughter. Well, what do they want?
Oh, the woman was real scared. Well, they were too scared to go home. The hubby's in the wife-bashing trade.
They weren't here for murdering him.
Good on 'em.
But they were supposed to be after his insurance.
I don't know about that, but he certainly scared the pants off of them.
Oh, you don't say. Tell us what happened.
Well...
Oh, Mr. Fletcher, can I speak to you?
What about?
Just want a word with you.
What, is it important?
Could be.
All right, I'll take it through.
Thanks for letting Lizzie in. I needed the company.
I did it for her, not for you.
Fair enough.
Well, what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
You know those two Silvertails that just come in for doing their old man?
Mrs. Williams and her daughter.
Yeah, well, whatever. Lizzie reckons he was a proper bastard.
How does she know?
Well, they stopped in at the halfway house one night looking for a place to keep. Yeah, I know it sounds incredible, but Lizzie swears to it. Reckons the old man used to beat him up regularly as a gong.
It's funny they hadn't mentioned it to anyone.
Well, they're a bit funny all round, aren't they? Just thought I owed you one.
Mum, if you don't eat, they'll start feeding you intravenously. And that's very embarrassing and very uncomfortable.
But I did eat, Carolyn.
Not enough to feed a sparrow. Do you have to watch us all the time?
I'm sorry, but I've got something important to talk to you about. Mrs. Williams, the night before your husband was killed, did you seek refuge at the halfway house?
It's hardly likely, is it?
Well, Lizzie Birdsworth swears she saw both of you there.
Who's she?
Lizzie's a former inmate. She now lives at the halfway house.
I've never heard of it. Or her.
Are you sure? It's in Elizabeth Street. It's not very far from here.
We didn't really make a habit of socialising with ex-prisoners, Mr. Fletcher.
You're evading the question.
Oh, I do beg your pardon. What was your question?
Did you seek refuge at the halfway house?
When?
At any time.
Yes, we were there.
Carolyn.
Oh, Mum. What's the point in denying it?
Well, Lizzie says that you had a black eye and that you were very distressed.
The woman was fantasizing.
Mum, please.
Mrs. Williams, if it was true that your husband was mistreating you, it could help your case.
Are you suggesting that I stand up in court and tell them my husband was a wife-beater?
You're going to be standing up in front of court accused of murder.
Mr. Fletcher.
All right, but I want to see you outside, please.
Carolyn.
It's all right, Mum. You lie there. I'll only be outside.
Now, you're going to tell me what this is all about. Well, if he was that violent, you've got a case. A woman's entitled to defend herself if she's being attacked.
She kept it to herself for years. Why should she suffer the humiliation of having it spread all over the media?
Because the alternative is 10 years in jail. You'll find you'll get mighty sick of the food and the company.
Oh, what's the point, anyway? Police will never believe us. There's just no evidence.
There's Birdsworth's evidence.
Well, if they won't believe us, it's not likely they'll listen to an ex-criminal like the Birdsworth woman.
She's got no reason to lie, and the other women will back her up.
A bunch of ex-criminals turning up in court and claiming to be old acquaintances. I'm sorry, Mother will never accept it.
Well, that's stupid.
I don't know what you're so worried about. It's not your affair. You're not even a policeman.
If you're innocent, you shouldn't be in jail, that's all.
How very philanthropic of you.
Look, you just think about what I said before it's too late for you and your mother.
I hope Grogan's mother can read her writing. It's more than I can do.
Morning, Vera. Morning, Sal. You're late. Yes, I know. I never thought I was going to get here.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, I don't know. You name it. It happened. Right, now, before I do anything else, I am going to have a cup of coffee. Oh, yes. Can I help you?
Yeah, my name's Bryant, Judy Bryant. I've come to see Sharon Gilmore.
Ah, yes. You must be her sister.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, I'll go and get her. Do you know where the garden is?
I've been here before, yeah.
Right.
Sign that book.
What's happened to your hair?
Don't touch me.
What's happened?
3 great dykes came at me with a pair of scissors. They could have had my eye out.
You mean the waters just let it happen?
You mean the waters just let it happen? The waters don't give a stuff what happens to me. Neither do you.
Sharon, don't say that. You know it's not true.
Why haven't you bailed me out then?
We've been through all this.
Yeah, that's right. You're teaching me a lesson.
Look, I'm sorry about your hair.
You're not sorry about anything. Or you'd get me out of here.
It's only for a few more days, love.
I could get killed in a few more days.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
It's true. This place is run by a tough old mole called B. Smith, and she's out to get me. All the other heavies work for her. I'm a goner if I can't buy them off, Jude. You've got to raise my bail.
Look, I'm trying, love. Honest I am, but it's a lot of money.
And at least get me something that I can use to buy those bitches off. I need drugs for bargaining. The hard stuff.
You haven't learnt your lesson, have you?
You can go to hell. You're not the only fish in the sea, you know. There are quite a few others in here interested in what I've got to offer. They'll look after me. Take me back inside. I'm sick of that pathetic old mole. Sharon, I want to go back inside.
Mr. Fletcher suggests we mention the halfway house. I think he's probably right.
Washing all our dirty linen in public. I don't even want to think about it.
We have to think about it. We have to do something.
All our friends, and the only people to speak up for us are 2 criminals.
We've only ourselves to blame for that.
There's no way I'm going to call on their evidence. Nothing's going to make me.
I don't like the idea any more than you do, Mum, but it might be our only chance.
I'd rather ask Michael to testify.
No, Mum.
But he knew about the accident, how it changed Brian. The court would accept his testimony.
I don't want Michael back in my life in any capacity. Look, why don't I ask Mr. Fletcher to make some inquiries for us, discreetly?
What sort of inquiries?
Whether the police are likely to listen to that woman, whether it'll make any difference.
Perfect strangers prying into our affairs. I don't like it.
We haven't any choice, Mum.
Tight old bitch. She could have got me out of here. She doesn't care what happens to me.
Nothing's going to happen to you, Sharon.
It's all right for you. Your life's not in danger.
Nor is yours.
She said she'd do anything for me. Look how she keeps her promises.
Even a sister can't be expected to condone drug trafficking.
Sister? Where'd you get that from?
Well, didn't you say it was your sister who was going to bail you out?
She's not my sister. She's my girlfriend.
Well, a friend has the right to opt out too, under the circumstances.
She's got no right to opt out. We're lovers. Some lover when she leaves me at the mercy of the scumbags in here. Oh, you couldn't tell, Mrs. Jackson. Shocking, isn't it?
Not particularly.
Oh, no, I should have realised. I suppose you're used to lesbians working in here. Wouldn't be surprised if you're a dyke yourself.
There's plenty.
It's nice to see you moving.
Yeah, I'm up for the Olympics. Now, I'm training to go down and see the kid.
Well, we'll wheel you down when the time's ripe.
Well, how about now?
Well, I want to talk to you. Please sit down, my dear.
Well, what's the matter?
Well, Elizabeth had a very bad time, you know, Chrissy. It was touch and go.
Yeah, but she still made it.
Yes, but she's very small. Only 3 pounds.
Oh, I knew she'd be small. She'll grow, though. Won't she?
Well, she'll have to have the very best attention to make her grow.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's okay. When can I take her home?
Home?
Well, you know, Wentworth.
Oh, yes. Well, she's going to need medical attention. Something far more specialised than Wentworth can give her.
Yeah, but I've got to look after her, don't I? I mean, I'm the only mum she's got.
Yes, but you don't understand, my dear. She has a severe respiratory problem. She won't be able to leave until that's cleared up. And you won't be able to look after her until you've left Wentworth.